While most Louisiana jobs don't require a 4-year college degree, the majority of them require education beyond high school. Harvard University predicts that in 2018, 33% of jobs will require a 4-year degree, while 57% will be middle-skill jobs that require technical skills and training at the credential or associate degree level. In 2014, Louisiana saw this shift taking place and began to ask the question, how does a high school diploma provide enough career-specific education to prepare young people for the jobs of the future in Louisiana? Throughout 2014, the Louisiana Department of Education engaged with education, post-secondary, and business leaders statewide to create and implement Louisiana's new and innovative career and technical education program known as Jumpstart.
I've seen a lot of kids that come from their other classes, their core classes, and they come down to Jumpstart, and they're really more interested in it than they are even their schoolwork. Whenever they are already certified, and it's like taking John, who's took CTIE and got a Jumpstart certification, and he's going to apply for a job, and you got Joe, who hasn't had anything, straight out of high school, don't have any certifications. Well, John's going to be more likely for that as manager or whoever's hiring to hire him, because it does show that you have some type of knowledge base in the system.
I have earned all the 9 certifications. I have earned the brakes, steering and suspension, transaxles, automatic, manual transmissions, electrical, AC and heat. Jumpstart gives me a better chance to go to college. I plan on going to Delgado to become a diesel mechanic. So I'll be down there for 2 years and hopefully help me out a lot.
You're basically taking the power of a lightning bolt, making metal into liquid, and mixing it together, making one solid piece. It's pretty cool. You make a lot of money doing it too. I wanted to focus more on my career after school since I wasn't planning on going to college, and I noticed that the Jumpstart helped me focus on what I wanted to do. I'm on one of my welding jobs right now. Got hired on at one company about 4 or 5 months in the program. Been with them for about 6 months now.
After this semester, I will be a certified nurse assistant. Then next semester, the patient care tech certification. It's all state requirements. So basically, by the time I graduate high school, I could work as certified nurse assistant either in the nursing home or hospitals, or be in the patient care tech program and further on to phlebotomy, which they do teach us, so then I could be straight out a phlebotomist after high school. I've already know what I want, and I am almost there, and if I get out of high school with all these certifications, colleges will see that I have the experience, like I have the certifications, and it would not just better the fact that they're like, oh, well, this kid has a lot of certifications even though she's straight out of high school. It benefits me because I've gained the experience, I've gained the knowledge. I'm not gonna be out there and scared to do what I've been doing for the last 2 years. So it's like I'm ready for it. Jumpstart is an amazing program because it gives students an idea what they could want, like what they would want to do in the future. It's not just about you just learning the materials and having to pass that material on the test. It's more like having the experience if you're gonna stick to that, if it's gonna stick with you when you come out of the Jumpstart program.
And anything that we do, everyone wants to be prepared. If you're not prepared, that means if you're giving a speech and you're not prepared, you're just not comfortable. But if you're comfortable giving that speech, which means that you have the necessary skills that are accessible within your power to be able to complete that task, then that means you're going to go out there comfortable. And what it does, it allows our students to be more comfortable in their own skin when they're on the job site.
Jumpstart erases the stigma of career and technical education and contributes to the economic stability of Louisiana by providing high school students with greater access to career education courses, workplace experiences, and certifications. Jumpstart allows students of all interests and abilities in every community across Louisiana to pursue careers that provide upward social mobility and will drive the future prosperity of the state.
It's fitting that they are Dutchtown students. We had a fantastic event yesterday with Mrs. Edwards, and we're very blessed to have Governor Edwards here later this morning, at Woodlawn High School in East Baton Rouge Parish yesterday. And part of that announcement was that of the top schools in the nation in terms of improvement in advanced placement performance last year, of all the high schools in the nation, Dutchtown ranks number 5 of all the high schools in the nation in terms of improvement and advanced placement. So congratulations to Dutchtown. It's a great blessing. Governor Edwards will be here in a second, to have him here, as it was to be with Principal Stevens and with the First Lady yesterday. It's also a great privilege to be with you. We have in our midst, for the 4th straight year, the leaders of our colleges, the leaders of our school systems, the leaders of our high schools, the leaders of our employers, of our chambers, of our economic development entities, leaders in our community coming together to celebrate workforce opportunity, coming together to celebrate an exciting high school curriculum, coming together to celebrate this mission that we are on together, that we have come to call Jumpstart. And so I thank you all so much for being here for the 4th annual Jumpstart Convention. I've got a couple of particular thanks that I want to extend. First of all, to Representative Tony Bacala and other members of our legislature. Thank you so much. You honor us with being here today, Representative. To our Bessie board members, Sandy Holloway, Laurie Thomason, and Tony Davis and Holly Bofi. Thank you so much, Bessie members, for being here as well today. Thank you to the governor again, and thank you to the governor's staff, in particular his education advisor, former Ascension Superintendent Donald Sanji. We appreciate so much you being here as well. We started Jumpstart to create an engine of economic mobility in our state. We started Jumpstart to help a high school experience for the young men and women of Louisiana be relevant, be engaging, be exciting, and produce economic opportunity so that they could go on to provide for their families as alumni of their high schools right here at home in Louisiana. And I want to talk a little bit about what we've accomplished together, what you've accomplished in the time since. In the time since we've started Jumpstart, our graduation rate has increased more than 5 points. In fact, more students graduated in the class of 2017 than have ever graduated in any class in the history of our state. And don't think that it's not largely due to Jumpstart. Louisiana, in the time since Jumpstart was started, is the fastest improved state in the nation on the ACT. And sometimes people want to say, Louisiana, you know, we're at the bottom of the heap on education, but not according to the ACT, where over that time we have grown to be the 3rd ranked state in the South, beating Mississippi, beating South Carolina, beating North Carolina, and yes, beating Alabama. We've gone from fewer than 2% of students graduating with an industry-based credential on the career diploma to this year in the class of 2018, more than 20% of students will be able to call themselves Jumpstart students when they walk across the stage. And I want you to hear this statistic. I want you to hear this. In 2014, when we first started this program together, we awarded 14,000 industry-based credentials. Well, the second year, we awarded 37,000 credentials. And last year in the state of Louisiana, we awarded 63,000 industry-based credentials to the students of our great state because of the work that you have done. And it's not just stopping in high school. Our students are going on to college in record numbers. In fact, the most improved state in the nation in terms of completing financial aid forms last year was the state of Louisiana. And I'm proud to say that as of yesterday, the first 2 high schools in our state, Northwood and Rapides and Central Lafourche and Lafourche, have completed 100% of their high school seniors' financial aid forms for next year. So we've accomplished so much. Now, before the governor arrives, I want to say this too. We have a couple of challenges ahead of us. First, we need students beyond students who are just on the career diploma and jumpstart path to be completing industry-based credentials. We need kids who are going to our four-year universities, kids who are going to our two-year colleges, and kids who are going right into the workplace, completing industry-based and workplace-based education. Secondly, the fastest growing high-wage fields in our state are the health sciences and information technology and systems. And while we have seen gains, still today other industries are predominant in our high school curriculum. And we've got to step up and take the challenge of growing the role of the health sciences and of information systems and technology in our Jumpstart program. Over the course of today, you will learn about some of the most creative work that your peers from around the state are doing. You'll learn about the CTE Leadership Academy, where a group of CTE directors in school systems around our state have taken it upon themselves to reinvent how they are trained and educated, to become worldly and knowledgeable about the world of industry in our state. You'll hear about the reinvention of Journey to Careers, so that no longer do we have an old school introductory course that brings our kids into the world of careers, but we have a 21st century, highly relevant course that can provide every student a bird's eye view of the world of work. You'll hear about the STEM pathways launched by LSU's College of Engineering, which I believe should expand to as many high schools in our state as possible, with kids learning the skills to do engineering, modeling, programming, to ready themselves for all STEM fields, so they come into two-year and four-year colleges as true pre-engineers. And perhaps most exciting for today, you'll hear about the expansion of Jumpstart to the summer. And in fact, for those of you who work in school systems, please be aware that today we release an RFP so that you as a school system can apply to be a provider of Jumpstart Summers and have your Jumpstart Summers coursework funded through the MFP so that your kids can be paid a wage, they can work, and they can earn their Jumpstart credentials over the course of the summer. All of this work has been piloted in the parishes, rural, suburban, and urban of our state. It's all due to your innovation, your spirit of creativity, that Jumpstart continues to evolve to meet the challenges of today and tomorrow. We have done so much work together thanks to everyone in this room. There is nothing about which we should be more proud than the work to destigmatize, to redignify career education in Louisiana and across our country. And you are leading that mission right here in Louisiana. So I urge you today to please learn from one another. Please look forward to a wonderful year creating more opportunity for our kids. And I thank you so much for the blessing of being able to call you colleagues. Thank you so much.
Good morning. On January 11th, 2016, Governor John Bel Edwards was sworn in as the 6th governor of Louisiana. The governor grew up in Amite, Louisiana, as one of 8 children. With 4 Tangipahoa Parish sheriffs in his lineage, he learned the importance of public service at an early age. Governor Edwards graduated in 1988 from the United States Military Academy at West Point. The governor served 8 years as an airborne ranger on active duty with the United States Army and commanded a rifle company in the 82nd Airborne Division at Fort Bragg, North Carolina. He went on to graduate Order of the Cough from Louisiana State University Law Center and set up a civil law practice in his hometown of Amite. In 2008, he was elected to the Louisiana House of Representatives from District 72, where he served for 8 years until the voters of Louisiana elected him governor in November 2015. Governor Edwards and his wife, First Lady Donna Edwards, have 3 children, Samantha Bell, Sarah Ellen, and John Miller. Please help me welcome to the stage Governor John Bel Edwards.
Good morning. What a beautiful day we have outside. And it sort of matches my mood. I know if you got up and you read the paper, especially the one here in Baton Rouge, it said Edwards presents doomsday budget. I'm actually very optimistic about our future, but I'm not naive. We do have some serious challenges to overcome, but I believe we're going to get it done, and we're going to do it in a permanent fashion so that we can move forward and put the state as a whole on a path to prosperity, just like you're trying to provide a pathway for success for your students. And so it's a pleasure to be here with you today, and I want to thank the superintendent for his remarks and his work and the opportunity that I have to share some of my thoughts with you all today. And understand that I'm talking to CTE directors and administrators and teachers who implement Jumpstart in your districts. I also have some private sector folks out here, and I want to thank you especially, not just for being here today, but for partnering with us to deliver better educational programs to these students with a real pathway to the future for success. But for the teachers, thank you. I know that you work hard. I know that you sacrifice. And I know that you are motivated by what is best for your students. Teachers always have been. You are today, and you always will be. And quite frankly, we need to do more to support our teachers. I can tell you that I fight every day at a minimum to protect the MFP and make sure that we don't go backwards in our funding for public education in our state. And believe it or not, there are some individuals who look at the MFP, because it is a big ticket item, as well it should be, as a way to try to save money when we have budget difficulties. Well, the Constitution puts it off limits, and I want you to know that I put it off limits. And it's actually time that we start investing more in the MFP. You know, it's only been, I think, twice in 10 years, something like that, that we've actually given the 2.75% increase that the MFP envisions. And I think once or so we did a half of that. So we're not even keeping up with inflation there. We have to do better. And my commitment to you is that we will, but certainly first we have to turn the corner, and I'm standing before you very optimistic that we're going to get that done this year. When it comes to ensuring that our students are prepared for success, there are few programs out there that have been as successful, as impactful as Jumpstart, for all the reasons Superintendent White gave you just a few moments ago. It is a proven success. In fact, we've seen a growth in students being on a career diploma track, going from 2% to 20% with the 2018 class. Also, the 2018 senior cohort is leading the nation in FAFSA applications at 40%. Obviously, this is very important if our students are going to find the funding necessary to take advantage of their post-secondary opportunities. Jumpstart's career and technical education goals align completely with the state's economic development strategies by encouraging students to obtain industry-based credentials in order to prepare for high-wage, high-demand careers. This is what everyone in this room knows, and we have to impart to parents and to students. It was just a generation ago that only 25% or so of the kids in high school needed anything beyond high school to have a solid pathway to the middle class. One generation later, and that number is exactly the opposite. It's somewhere between 2/3 and 75% of students need some education, some credential, some degree beyond high school to have a pathway to the middle class. You know that, and that's why you are providing that pathway. But Jumpstart is also a prime example of the importance of public-private partnerships. And I want to thank those private partners who are here and those who are not here for working with us, for providing internships to these students so that they can see the real world while they're still in high school, find out whether that career path is for them or if it isn't. But it's critically important to our success as we move forward. When we invest in our students, we're investing in the next generation of skilled workers. Business and industry leaders understand that, and they understand the critical connection between education and workforce development. And we've got a lot of good things going for our state right now in terms of our unemployment, in terms of direct foreign investment, in terms of economic development wins that we've been able to announce recently. But I will tell you, when I sit down with CEOs where they already have a business in Louisiana and they're looking to expand, or maybe they're wanting to invest into a new venture here in Louisiana, they ask a lot of questions. But the first question, the biggest concern, is if I invest in Louisiana, will I have the talented, trained, educated, skilled workforce that I need to be successful? That is number one. They want to see that we're committed to education, K through 12 and higher education. And that's why I'm convinced that more than ever, education, workforce development, and training is the key to our future as a state, as well as the key to the futures of all of the children, all the students in our great state. It's also why I'm enthusiastic about the success for Jobs for America's graduates. In my first year in office, I committed to expanding the programs across the state, and we did. We actually doubled the number. We're at 123 programs now. And I want you to listen to these numbers. A 94% graduation rate, 87% positive outcome rate, meaning employment, military, or post-secondary education, and 91% full-time placement rate. Now, that's impressive numbers under any circumstances, but when you think that JAG only serves at-risk students, those are phenomenal numbers. It's why I'm so committed to that program. And I will admit we have a ways to go to deliver to achieve, I should say, the educational outcomes that we all want. But I think it's clear to see we are on the path. We are making progress, and we're closing that gap every day. As I've said, and this is chief among the reasons I ran for governor 3 years ago, it's my goal to make sure that no student ever feels like he or she has to leave our state to get a good education, to find a job, or to have a rewarding career. If they choose to do so, God bless them, we should wish them well. But if they feel like they have to do that, we have failed them. And we are not going to fail our kids in that way, but you are helping to deliver on that promise. Because it has always been true, but it has never been more true, that education is synonymous with opportunity. Education is synonymous with opportunity. That's what that pathway is about. So I want to thank all of you for allowing more and more students to realize the bright future that I know is possible for them, and the future they want for themselves, and the future that is going to be so important for their families, their communities, and for our state. God bless you, and thank you again for the opportunity to be with you today.
This has been a presentation of the Louisiana Department of Education, copyright 2018, all rights reserved. For more information or to contact the Louisiana Department of Education, on the web go to www.louisianabelieves.com or call 1-877-453-2721.